for Paul George. You traded him for Paul George, Brad Stevens. Listen, we've all seen the rumors with Jaylen Brown, okay? We all, like, we shouldn't be shocked that this is happening, like, that a trade is happening. Who the hell believed it was going to be for Paul George? Jaylen Brown's on the Sixers with Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe, and I mean, Paul George played some good defense in that round one series. Okay, Jaylen Brown's off my team. I'm scrambling right now. This is all... I don't really care about all the discourse around Jaylen Brown over the last week and a half. I had a great time rooting for him, and it was amazing to see him and Tatum, climb the mountain, go through their struggles, and the whole thing, and many other things along the way. Okay, there's a lot. Okay, it's been 10 years. They traded him for Paul George and 2 first-round picks. Okay, listen, Brad Stevens has done enough with the Celtics at this point to where I'm willing to be like, okay, Brad, prove to me that this is the right way to do this. Look, if you're going to do the finances, I get it, okay? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum combined for a whole lot of money, and it's tough to build out the whole roster when 2 guys are making that much. And Paul George is on a shorter contract than Jaylen Brown, and you're not going to worry about, well, are we going to have to max Paul George in the next contract? You're not maxing Paul George on anything, okay? I mean, the Sixers did, and you just traded for him, but that's it, right? With Jaylen Brown, if you were going to keep him into his mid-30s and you're going to give him another max and he's making like $70 million a year on combined with Tatum, I get it, okay? You would have had to keep on nailing these like bargain contracts in order to make it work. Now, that's a year's thing because Paul George also makes a crap ton of money. They did sign Mitchell Robinson today. Like, cool. I mean, I am excited for Mitchell Robinson, but right now, Jaylen Brown, my basketball life's a bit different, okay? Jaylen Brown's gone. And, all right, Brad, okay, like you're doing this for financial flexibility. You're doing this for some picks. Also, is Jaylen Brown going to like torch us in a playoff game now? Is that on the table? You're doing all this because you believe that this can create the roadmap to acquire more assets and get more financial flexibility, which allows you to build the next contending version of this team. Okay, go do it. And please don't take too long to do it because Jason Tatum's 30 years old. Now, do I know what the roadmap is for you to either... I mean, if it's not acquiring a better player than Jaylen Brown with some of this newfound financial whatever and picks and whatever else, if it's not that, then you just have to create a stacked roster. Because if this effectively is just, hey, we did this for the sake of being out of the money like a little bit sooner, and then the next trade or the next 2 or 3 trades don't actually happen, then what the hell are we doing here, okay? Like, listen, Paul George has still got some gas in the tank. Again, like his defense on Tatum and Brown was actually pretty good in that Philly series, but... like what? Like what is this? We're rolling into next season with Paul George, who's like 36 years old. I know every single advanced stat wants to tell me that Jaylen Brown actually sucks at basketball, okay? But Paul George, I mean, as far as the next like 2 seasons go, the money's basically the same here. Like this, is this the best you could do? I mean, I know he tried for like the Gobert, Nas Reed thing. Like, okay, the alternate timeline here. It is. The relationship either doesn't fall apart or you whatever. Something happened between they offered him for Giannis and then the Celtics clearly got to a point where they were like, we have to do this, I guess. So the alternate timeline is you don't do that and then you just make enough moves on the margins, like the Mitch signing. Now, I don't know if like the timing of that would have messed up this or like maybe whatever, who knows, okay? But you could have gone that route, and then once again, you still would have been faced with the task of like, well, eventually we're just going to be faced with the reality of like Tatum and Brown just make an insane amount of money, and their contracts go until probably their careers are over, and we're just going to have to keep on nailing it with little contracts, okay? And now it's this where, I don't know. That's it. Brad Stevens, prove to me that this works. I'm sure somebody else is going to have like the rational look at this whole thing, and I try to be that person. I can't be that person right now. Brad, usually I try to be process over results. Well, probably not all the time. You can, whatever. On this one, I'm going to be results. This better work. Because what the hell is this? I mean, listen, the 2 picks, which I don't know the 2 picks right now. If I don't know, Shams might tweet the picks 3 hours from now like it was with the Kawhi trade, okay? If you're just totally banking on the worst case scenario for Philly and Embiid's health, I mean, they got Jaylen Brown now. I know people think he doesn't help you win basketball games. Okay, I just learned the picks. A 2028 pick with what could convert from a first to a swap that is more valuable to Boston, favorable to Boston, whatever. 2031 unprotected first. All right, there you go, Brad. You got whatever, you did it. You got whatever the hell you think you needed to get, or you just felt like this is all I can get at this point for Jaylen. How did we get to that point? I don't know. Maybe somebody's feelings were hurt. Maybe many tough conversations were had. You said that we got to get more rim pressure. and it's Paul George, and some financial flexibility because you're not going to give him a max contract. And okay, I will say it again, Brad Stevens, good luck. As far as the Sixers, Maxey, JB, VJ, and the hope of Embiid being healthy. I mean, financially speaking, now the Sixers have to decide if they want to give Jaylen Brown a max contract when he's like 32. And I do think that PG was, pretty like malleable at his spot, right? He was like kind of able to shift into a bit more of like a 3-and-D guy while still turning up the heat as a scorer when he needed to. JB is 29 years old. He is going to be looking to take shots. And that's a balancing act where I'm trying to think of just the balance of Maxey. And I mean, if you were just wanting VJ to have more of a runway to like just take more shots, how does this impact that? Look, somebody besides me can have a take on Philly right now. It's a very interesting backcourt situation where the talent went up and now they got to rearrange like the shot attempts some. And I mean, listen, if Embiid's healthy and he can kick out to Jaylen Brown, there's that. Also, JB's a better health bet than Paul George. I seriously don't even know what the rational take is. Like, somebody have the right take. It's not me right now. I'm way too close to this. I'm way too in. Somebody talk me into how this makes any fucking sense for the Celtics. Look, I'm hoping for nothing more than like a day goes by and I read some takes, some well thought out people, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I had an overreaction. I've done it before. I overreacted to whatever. I've done it before. I'm hoping that the version of me that I'm hearing myself right now, of 3 weeks from now, I'll be like, okay, you were doing too much with that. But right now, I believe this team is worse. Even if, once again, yes, Paul George did play good defense on Jaylen Brown in the playoffs. We just saw it. I believe this team is worse. I do not think that the assets acquired create an obvious pathway for the Celtics to then be a better version of this team right now. I mean, are Philly picks good? Yeah, they're good, man. Jaylen Brown's 29. Like, if they use these picks to then get a stacked roster, great. I'm still got to see if Derek White can shoot. I don't know. This is something else. I don't know how to react to this. I mean, Jaylen Brown has been in my life for, I think it's 10 years, 9 years, whatever. I'm not going to go check his basketball reference right now, okay? I've seen several hairstyles. I've seen many pull-up twos. I've seen dunks. I've seen fast breaks. I've seen playoff disappointments. I've seen him and Tatum go all the way to the, to reach the apex. I've seen a whole lot of discourse. Some of it's fair, neutral assisted turnover, can be a little tunnel visiony sometimes, a better on-ball defender than off-ball defender. Fully understand all that, never hit 60 true shooting while having a pretty high usage. At the same time, I just completely reject these ideas that like he's actually like a damaging basketball player. Like, the Celtics have won Jaylen Brown's minutes for the majority of his career. Yes, they've been better with him off. I do think there is something to all that. I'm willing to have that conversation. But some of y'all are doing too much. This is, whatever. I don't know. Brad Stevens, go do some stuff.